beautiful friends. Welcome back to Evolve, Day 2. We're going to start today in a stacked pigeon. So just like you would come into crisscross applesauce, we're going to bring the opposite leg right on top. So both of your lower legs are parallel, right on top of each other. If you find that you have a big gap here, maybe you place a block to rest on, or you can also use maybe a little pillow or a rolled up towel to fill in that empty space. So we're just laying the shins right on top of one another. Sitting up nice and tall, straight spine, shoulders down. Let's close our eyes for a moment. We're going to take a few breaths, becoming present on the mat, leaving all of the stresses off of the mat for the next 30 minutes or so. Sometimes we run a little over. Let's start by counting to 4 as we inhale, and when we exhale, we're going to count to 8. Deep breath in. Obviously, when I said count, I meant in your head. I can't count and breathe at the same time. Let's take a deep breath in, 4 count, and an 8 count to exhale. Last one. Gently open up your eyes. Let's reach the arms up overhead. As we reach up, we inhale, and we're going to exhale, twist open to the right, opening up those arms. You can turn and look back at that right hand. Don't over push it. Let's reach the arms up overhead. Inhale, and exhale, twist open to the left, opening up those arms. Back at that left hand, and come back through center. We're going to do a couple shoulder rolls. Let's bring them forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. One more time. Now we reverse, up, forward, down, and back, up, forward, down, and back, kind of drawing a square with the shoulders. Let's bring those hands out in front. We're going to turn those fingertips towards us and slightly round through the back, chin to chest. Stretching through the forearms and the wrists and the hands. Then we come back up. This time we place the tops of the hands on the ground and slight round through the upper back, chin to chest. Take a breath here and roll it up. Right hand comes out to the side. We bring that left arm over the left ear. You can slowly bend that right arm to get a little bit more of a side stretch. Just make sure that chest is open. And come on up. Other side, left hand hits the ground. Right arm comes over. Again, you can start to lower, bending that elbow. Opening up that chest. Take a deep breath here. And come on up. We're going to lift that top leg and just bend it behind us. Adjust your seat so both sits bones are on the mat. You can adjust the leg too if you need to bring it out or bring it in, whatever's more comfortable for you. And we're just going to walk it forward, melting the chest and the forehead to the ground. Let's walk it on up. We're going to switch legs this time. So now right leg bends in front, left comes behind. Adjust your seat and let's walk it forward. Melting the chest and the forehead to the ground. let's walk it on up. We're going to come onto our sides. You can rest the elbow on the mat, forearm on the mat, and it's right underneath that shoulder. So make sure it's in line with the shoulder. Keeping the bottom leg bent. We're going to stretch that right leg out, point the toes. You can place that right hand in front just to give you a little balance. And we're just going to lift. And as you lower, start to add some resistance, like there's a weight on top of the leg. Really utilizing the muscles each time we lower. Bend both knees. As we do so, we're going to lift those hips and we're going to open up and bring everything in. Open up, bring everything in. Open up, bring everything in. So I'm lifting my arm to the sky, I'm opening up that hip, bending that leg, coming in. Open, bring it in. Last one. And come on down. Let's take it over to the other side. I'm going to turn so you can still see my front, but if you just want to roll onto the other side, or you can just switch up sides like I am so you can see me if that's easier. So we're bringing the elbow under the shoulder, forearms on the mat. Knees are bent. We're going to stretch that top leg, point the toes, use that left hand now as a kickstand, and we're going to lift, and as we lower, really add that resistance in, like somebody is stopping you from bringing your leg down, and you're pushing really hard to get it down. So it's not just like a whimsy up and down, right? We're really using that resistance. Last one. Now we bend both knees in. We're going to push up off that hip, and we're going to lift and bring it in. Lift, bring it in. Lift, bring it in. Lift, bring it in, lift, and in. One more time, and in. Lower down. Let's meet in a tabletop. Hands come right under the shoulders. Knees come under the hips. We lift that belly button towards the spine. Nice, long, straight back. Right leg comes out, square those hips. We bring that knee in towards the chest. Bring it out, in towards the chest, and out. Keeping those hips squared. When you bring that knee in, really try to touch the chest. And set the breath to the movement. Lower it down. Let's take it to the other side. Left leg comes out, square those hips, lift that belly button towards the spine. Inhale and exhale, knee to chest. Set the breath. And lower down. We're going to curl those toes under and lift the hips into downward dog. As we check on our stance, we're going to pedal through the feet, stretching through the backs of the legs. Once you feel like you've warmed up those backs of the legs and ankles and feet, then begin to melt the chest towards the spine, lifting the tailbone towards the sky, more weight in the pointer and thumbs. Take a deep breath. Again, have a bend in your knees if you find it's easier to straighten your back that way. And let's lift the right leg high, three-legged dog, big inhale. Exhale, we're going to come through the center, knee to chest, look forward. Bring it right back up, three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward, coming into a plank. Coming right back up, three-legged dog, big inhale. Exhale, look forward, knee to chest. And last one, coming right back up, three-legged dog, big inhale. Exhale, we're going to step it wide, coming into lizard pose. Drop down on that back knee. We're going to drop down to the forearms. See if you can inch forward with that right leg. That's half on, half off the mat. Small turnout. And see if we can bring our shoulder underneath and wrap around that ankle. Take a breath here. And come back. This time we lift up on our hands. We're going to lift up on that back leg and grab that foot if it's in your practice. We're going to stretch it in towards the glute and lift that elbow towards the sky. Take a deep breath here. One more deep breath. And slowly lower that back leg to the ground. Curl those back toes under. We're going to lift that back leg and see if you can just slide that leg back to a plank. Coming into a plank here. See if you can drop your knees down. And we're going to lower and suspend. And then lift back up, keeping the elbows tight to your sides. So we inhale, exhale, lower, suspend, lift up. Deep breath in, exhale, lower. Don't touch the ground. Come on back up one more time. Deep breath in, exhale, lower, and lift. Drop those toes down, lift those kneecaps, come right back, downward dog. Take a moment to pedal the feet, warm up, and then check your stance. Melting the chest, tailbone to the sky, check your hands, sink the heels. On your next breath in, left leg comes high, three-legged dog. Exhale, we come through the center, lift knee to chest, look forward. Come right back up, three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, come forward, look up. Come right back up, inhale. Exhale, look forward, knee to chest. Last one, we lift up, three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, we step it wide, lizard pose. Drop down on that back leg, flatten the foot. Come on down to your forearms, elbows come under the shoulders. See if you can inch a little bit forward on that front foot. From here, see if you can bring your shoulder under and wrap your arm around that ankle. Take a deep breath here. One more deep breath. And let's come on up to our hands. You lift up on that back leg. Grab that foot. Stretch it in towards the glute, elbow to the sky. You can look back at it. Look back at it. Every time I say that, I think of that song. One more deep breath. Lower down on that back leg. Hands to front. We pop up on that back leg. See if you can slide that leg back to your plank. We're going to take a deep breath in. And we're going to lift into a kick. If that's too much for you, drop down to a modified plank and hold while we do this. Set the breath to the movement. Lifting from the glute. Drop those knees down. Everybody sit back. Knees come wide. Big toes touch. Sit on those heels. Melt the chest. And forehead to the mat. Relax the arms. Wide-legged child's pose. Take a deep breath. One more deep breath. And let's roll through, coming into tabletop. From here, bring the right leg out. And let's turn the lower half of the left leg in just a bit so it's not perfectly straight. We're turning it in just a bit to give us a little more stability. We're going to be opening up into a half moon variation. This might be a good place for a block if you need some more height. We're going to lift up on that back leg and see if we can open up into half moon variation. This is not easy. Take a breath. And lower it down. Let's take it to the other side. Now if you don't have a block, just try to pop up on those fingertips, or even popping up on your fist if your fingertips aren't strong enough yet. So now we're going to bring the left leg out long. This time we turn in the bottom half of the right leg just to give us more stability, because if we kept that leg the way it is, there's much less stability. So I'm kind of making my own variation here. Again, use that block. If you need some height, lift that left leg, and we slowly begin to open up, lifting the arm towards the sky. You might fall, see? It's not easy. This is actually harder than a standing half moon. Do the best you can. If you're not ready to turn your whole body, just see if you can lift the leg and the arm. And come on down. I definitely need to work on that. Okay. Move your block to the side if you have one. Let's come right back to our downward dog. Lift on up. Pedal the feet. Take a deep breath. Check that tailbone and spine. Check the hands. Sink the hips. Sink the heels. You don't want to sink the hips. You want to lift the hips to the sky. On your next breath in, let's bring that right leg high. Three-legged dog. Big inhale. As we exhale, we're going to step it up into high lunge. We're going to reach up as we squeeze the inner thighs. Arms overhead. Big inhale. Hands come to heart. From here, let's see if we can push off with the back foot. Place all four corners of that front foot on the mat and come right into your warrior three. From here, keep that back leg lifted and strong. Open up into your standing half moon. Don't worry if you wobble. See if you can turn right back to your warrior three, squaring the hips to the front, and we step it up. Shake it up. Deep breath in as we lift the arms. Exhale, swan dive down. Coming coming into forward fold. Small bend in your knees here, tailbone lifts to the sky. You can swing those elbows back and forth like a pendulum. You can shake your head yes and no. And slowly roll it up, one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. We take a big inhale. And exhale, hands to heart. Reach those arms overhead. We're going to grab the left wrist with the right hand. As we do, we're going to stretch it over to the right. Hips come out to the left. Chest stays open. And come on up. Arms come up. We grab the right wrist with the left hand. Chest is open. Big inhale, and we twist over to the left as we exhale. And come on through center. Slowly dive it down. Halfway lift. Nice long spine, open that chest. Big inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Hands come to the mat. Step it back to your plank. Chaturanga. Drop your knees down if you need. Use your blocks if you need. Otherwise, we come forward as we inhale. Elbows in at your side as you lower. Exhaling. Open up to upward facing dog. Turn, look over that right shoulder. Come back through center. Turn and look over that left shoulder. Come back through center. We slowly bend the knees, curl one toe, then the other, coming right back to downward dog. Pedal the feet for a second. Check your stance. On your next breath in, left leg comes high. Big inhale. And exhale, step it right up. High lunge. Squeeze those inner thighs together as we rise up. Take a breath here, push back with the back heel. Hands come to heart. We're going to bring all four corners of that front foot to the mat. And see if we can push off. Coming into Warrior 3. See if you can open up to your standing half moon. And bring it right back, squaring the hips. Back to your Warrior 3. Step it up. Shake it up. Take a breath. Let's come into mountain pose for a moment. So we really root through those legs. Lift the kneecaps. Tailbone tucks in. Tighten the core. Shoulders down. Nice long spine. Nice long neck. Hands can be down at your side or at heart center. Take a deep breath here. One more deep breath. Let's root through that left foot, bringing all four corners to the mat. As we lift the right knee, let's place that foot in our tree pose. Place it where you can comfortably stand and balance. So if that means you need to touch your toe to the ground with heel on your ankle, go for it. If you need to place your foot on your shin, or if you need to hold on to a wall, all of that is absolutely fine. Once you feel comfortable and rooted through your tree pose, find your focal point, and let's reach the arms up overhead. As we do that, see if you can gently come over to the left. And come on up through center. And maybe see if you can come over to the right. Ooh. If you fall, it's okay. Shake it out. Practice makes perfect, right? Trying to challenge us in our balancing poses, right? Let's place that right foot on the mat, melt through all four corners of that foot, hands to heart. Let's lift that left leg now. Place it in your tree where you're comfortable and where you're able to stand rooted and balanced. Now that doesn't mean you won't wobble. We all wobble. Find your focal point, standing up nice and tall. Once you feel comfortable, reach the arms up overhead. Once you're here, see if you can gently stretch it over to the right. Keeping that chest open. And then come back through center. Maybe you tip it over to the left. If you're crazy like me. Back through center. Let's come on down. If you don't feel comfortable doing anything, you don't have to. This is all in good fun. You could just do a regular tree pose and hold on to a wall if you'd like. Let's reach the arms up overhead as we inhale. Exhale, gracefully dive down in your swan. Forward fold. Coming into a halfway lift, nice long spine. Big breath in and exhale, forward fold. Hands come to the mat. Step that right leg back. Turn and flatten on that foot. Left hand comes on the inside of that of that left foot. So left hand on the inside of the left foot. Not to confuse you at all. Lift that right arm to the sky. Open that chest. Breathing. And we're going to push through both feet and lift off. Coming right into Warrior Two. As we do, we tip right back into Exalted Warrior. Look up towards the sky as we inhale. And exhale, come back to Warrior Two. Come on back to Exalted. Deep breath in. Exhale, back to Warrior Two. One more time. Exalted. Breathe in. Exhale, Warrior Two. This time, we straighten the front leg as we lift both hands to the sky. And come back down, bending that front leg, arms come down. Then we lift. Come on down. And we lift. Come on down. Lift. Come on down. And lift. Keeping that front leg straight. Hands come back to Warrior Two. We stretch as far as we can possibly go, bringing that back hip out. Once you can't go any further, you open up that chest. Don't worry about getting that hand all the way to the ground. If you're rounding in, come on up. Use your block here to give you some height to open up that chest. Take a deep breath. And we slowly turn both hands to the mat. This time, right hand comes to the mat as we twist open with the torso. Revolve triangle. Take a deep breath. And frame that front foot. Slowly bend on that front foot. As you do, come into your low lunge. Bend on that back leg. We're going to step it right back up. Coming into forward fold. Hug it in for a moment. Hands reach for the mat. This time, left leg comes back. Now we're back in our low lunge. Turn and flatten on that back foot. This time, right hand comes on the inside of that right foot. Pop up on those fingertips. As we open up that chest, lift the left arm to the sky. Pressing through the front and the back foot. We push off. Warrior Two. Come right back to your Exalted. Back to Warrior Two. Exalted, deep breath in. Exhale, Warrior Two. Exalted, breathe in. Exhale, Warrior Two. This time, as we straighten on that front leg, we lift, hands above head. And then we bend, arms come down. And we lift. And we bend as we breathe. Arms come back down. We reach front, tuck back hip, pokes out towards the back of the mat. Can't come any further. We tip into our triangle, opening up that chest, like you're flat up against a wall. Using a block here is great for some height. Deep breath. And we slowly begin to turn both hands to the mat. This time left hand comes to the mat as we twist that torso open, revolve triangle. Take a deep breath here. One more deep breath. Frame that front foot. This time, both hands frame that front foot in your low lunge. And we come back to a plank. We're going to do Spider-Man plank. If you need to modify your plank, you can stay here or you can touch knee to elbow as we do. So this is a modified version. Otherwise, come into your plank, tuck that pelvis to ignite the core, push back through the heels, big inhale, exhale, knee to elbow, alternating each side. Drop down to those knees, let's swing it around. And we're going to bring the feet to the mat, slowly lay back. Feet come up, feet are flexed. Tuck those hands underneath the glutes slightly to keep them in line. Take a deep breath here. We're going to lower the legs, suspend them, and then walk it up. I love these. Lower, walk it up. Lower. Now we start marrying the breath to the movement. Going. Don't hold your breath. You got one more in you. I know you do. Don't give up now. Deep breath in. Exhale. Hug those knees in. Give yourself a little massage by rocking and rolling, rounding through, back and forth. Bring those big toes to touch. We're going to draw some circles with those knees, big circles. Let's reverse. Those legs wide. Bring the legs out. Lift the upper back off of the mat. Hands come out. Keep a nice space between the chin and the chest so we're not hunching. We're lifted. Look up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Pulse from the core. So let that core lift you. As you breathe. Bring those arms overhead. Come into good morning stretch. Really stretch through those feet and hands. Toes touch, we open wide. We lift and tap the toes. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. Start breathing. One more. Knees come together. Drop down one arm at a time. One more good morning stretch. Big stretch. Feet come up. Let's come into a bridge pose. Bring those feet as close to your glutes as possible. Hands come down to your sides. We're going to slowly lift the hips. As we do, keep those knees in line with the hips. Don't let them splay out. As you lift your hips, you can climb up onto your shoulders, squeezing the shoulder blades together. You can even interlace your hands underneath and lift those hips to the sky. Again, don't let those legs splay out. Keep them in line. Placing a block in between your thighs to help remind you of that is great. Take a deep breath here. Keep that neck open and long. Gently release the hands if they're interlaced. And slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. And let's bring knees to chest and nose to knees. We're moving in opposition. So we just arch through the back. Now I want to round through the back. Yin and yang of movement. All right, let's everybody either turn to one side and meet me in a seat. Or if you feel comfortable, rocking and rolling, come back into a little ball. And we use that core to gain some momentum, rocking and rolling, and come on into a seat. Today we're going to switch it up and end in a seated meditation rather than corpse pose. I do want to try to keep things different and change it up often in this series. So you can either just sit on your mat and crisscross applesauce, or you can sit up on a block. You can come into crisscross applesauce or half lotus, opening up through those hips. If you prefer to do corpse pose, by all means, be my guest. Otherwise, let's all have a seat, sitting up nice and tall, nice straight line in the back, long spine, shoulders down. Hands can be in your lap. You can also place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. I like to do that. I like to feel my heartbeat and my breath through my belly. So we're going to finish off clearing our minds and breathing just like we did in the beginning, just for a little bit longer. So 4 count as we inhale, counting in our head, and an 8 count as we exhale. Try to keep your mind as clear as possible. Let's start with a deep breath in. Breathing just like that on your own. Let's everybody bring our hands to our heart. Give yourself a big smile. Gently open up your eyes. We're gonna reach the arms overhead. Take one more deep breath in. I want you to look up towards those hands. Hold that breath. And release, exhaling. One more time, deep breath in, arms overhead. Look up towards those hands, hold the breath. And release to exhale. Hands to your heart. Thank you guys so much for coming and joining me today for day 2 of Evolve. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I know I am, and I can't wait to see how much we grow together over the next 31 minus 2, 29 days. Is that right? Yeah, I'm terrible at math, obviously. How I ever pass the real estate exam, I'll never know. Let's hope I can pass the yoga certification. Anyways, by the way, those noises you heard was my kid opening and closing her door. So, my videos will always be like this. It'll always have me falling in a pose. It will always have my kid making noise, my dog barking, running around, Alexa going off without me prompting. And I'll never edit it out because I like to show realness. I don't want to be a big production. I don't want it to be fake. So, it'll always be just like this. All right, thank you guys so much again. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you putting yourself first and showing up on the mat today. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.